Morning guys, welcome back. Bit of a chilly morning over here today. Okay, so this is one of the videos in the answering the viewers' questions. We had a question from Scott Lattimer. Hope I pronounced that right, Scott, from the USA. Nice to know you guys are watching and appreciating the videos. Keep up the good work. Right, so Scott's question coming through the website, and Scott asked basically how I went about fitting the side skirts. Well, when we put the side skirts on, unfortunately we didn't do a video back then. We weren't quite as confident in them days doing videos and working on the car at the same time. So we'll just run through the process of fitting the side skirts for you. So basically the side skirts are riveted and glued on, essentially. I'll cover the glue I used and why I used it at the end of the video and give you the link, because obviously I don't know if you can get it in different countries, but I'm sure you can get something that has the same kind of qualities and does the same job. So initially it's easier as a two-person job. I'm just going to change hands here. Yeah, initially it's easier as a two-man job because obviously you've got to position and get the skirts in the right place. So I roped Malcolm into helping, and what we did initially was position the skirts. The skirts, incidentally, they came pre-painted from eBay, and they were a very good fit, so we didn't have to do any adjustments to them to get them to fit onto the car. They fit in quite nicely. But get your position, get your fitment right. That's the most important part. Then what we did is we drilled 2 holes in the front and rear arches to rivet them on. Now, we didn't at the time bother with screws, but what I would recommend is that you initially use small self-tapping screws to hold them. That way, if you need to move and readjust them, you can do. Okay, as you can see here, this is the 2 rivets in the rear wheel arch, there and there. To say, me and Malcolm, we didn't bother with self-tapping screws, so I would really advise that. We were pretty confident with lining it up. This side, the skirt sits nicely behind the plastic liner of the wheel arch, and as you can see, all we did along here, once you've got the seals on, is you use a wet cloth and you just literally, your thumb and a wet cloth, and you just wipe any excess glue off. This is the front arch, and again there is the top rivet and there is a lower rivet. So again, we positioned the skirts, drilled the holes with the skirts in position, then we did the glue, put the glue onto the skirts, put the skirts on, and then put the rivets in. Now, so I would recommend, really, if you're not confident, using screws first, so you can make adjustments and then changing the rivets afterwards. And then the car was left for 24 hours for the glue to dry. Also, make sure you clean any polish, wax, any grease like that off the bodywork, paintwork, ready for when you glue them on. So once we'd positioned them and got the holes drilled, we then took them off and coated them with glue all around the edges. Now with the underside, where they fit up against the bottom of the skirt, it's quite difficult to get a nice neat fit, so we just put plenty of glue on underneath, and then once we put them on, you use a wet cloth to wipe off any excess glue. We didn't worry too much about the underside, we were just worried about what you could see around the wheel arches and along the tops of the seals. So you clean all of that off with a wet cloth, get rid of all the excess glue, and then we then put the rivets in so that the rivets held it whilst the glue dried. The glue sets in an hour, but it takes 24 hours to reach full strength, so the car was then left for 24 hours for it to set. What we did after that, what I did after that, because I didn't need Malcolm's help, is I then jacked the car up in the air, went underneath and just basically used the glue like a sealant, like a seam sealer, which is one of the properties of the glue, and one of the reasons I used it, to just fill in any gaps and neaten up the joint underneath, and then a bit of black underseal just to make it all look neat and tidy. Did the same round the inside of the wheel arches. So that is essentially how you fit them. Obviously, if you're using screws initially, when you replace the screws with the rivets, I would suggest you do one at a time, i.e. you take one screw out, put a rivet in, then take the next screw out and put the rivet in. I hope we're not getting too much wind noise, because it is quite windy today. I apologise if we are. So that is essentially how you fit the skirts. Probably took us a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours tops, to actually get them fitted and get them on there. Okay, so the glue that we used for it, rather favourite of mine. It's produced by Evo Stick, and it's called Serious Stuff Flexi. And that's one of the main reasons I use it, is because it's got a flexibility to it. So it's great for like vibration, body flexing when you're going over potholes and things like that. It doesn't crack or break. It's a brilliant glue. It really does stick like you know what. But it's also, it's like a silicone, it's like a sealer, like a seam sealer. So it's brilliant for gluing stuff where you can't get a perfect joint, where you've got gaps and things like that. It will fill the gaps. Sorry, the wind's blowing the camera around a bit as well. It'll fill the gaps and glue it as well. So it's brilliant. You can use it as a kind of a sealer, a glue, a filler. So it does all the jobs. It's in white, so it's easy to cover up as well. So brilliant stuff, really. So don't know if you can get it in other countries, but I'll include a picture and a link to where I got it. I'm sure you could probably get it online pretty much anywhere, and I'm sure you can get something similar. So that covers the glue for you. So any questions, any other details you'd like on that, then just pop them in the comments box underneath and I'll reply to you. Once again, thanks to Scott for watching and subscribing, and of course thank you to all you guys out there. Wouldn't have the channel if it wasn't for you. So please like, please subscribe, please share, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.